very much. I'm honored to be standing up here. I've been to many of these events, and first of all, I want to thank Lynn and your team for putting events like these on, this and the pack that make it available for restaurateurs and hoteliers and vendors and just great people. Some of the best people on this planet are sitting here in the room, and you just get to pick the brains of some of the industry's finest. So let's continue to do these, and thank you. The next thing I also want to thank Lynn for is the way that the guidance y'all gave us to open back up when COVID hit, and to stay open, and to make it safe for not only our guests, but also our families and the people who all work for us. When I was starting off here, I moved down here in 1998. I had to get a couple jobs trying to apply for dental school, and I did not get in right away. But in the meantime, you have to have a job, so I started waiting tables at the Angus Barn, and also during the day at Winston's Grill. And I had the opportunity to, unbeknownst to me, to work for both the Orr and the Winston family restaurants. And it started just something inside that I never know about me, that I wanted to get in this industry so bad. When Will asked me to help manage some days during some lunches and brunches, it was my first introduction to the restaurant industry. And I remember having Charles and Will and Roger tell me a few things. First of all, it was get it right, and do it right the first time, and do it right all the time. But the second thing was to listen, and before you manage, before you speak, and that was resounding to me. But if anybody here has ever worked at the Angus Barn, you go through an extensive orientation. It is several hours, and I'm new to the area, and I remember sitting in a room, which is now Thad's room, but it was a stocked room with bottles and wine and things like that. And I remember Vanier coming in and sitting and talking about her father's legacy and what this place meant to her and what it meant to be here, how to do things the Angus Barn way. And her 12 commandments were something that changed the way I thought about hospitality. And then I get to see a video clip of her father speaking at a high school, I think it was Athens Drive, and his motto in life was, I want to make sure that every day and every way I'm better than I was the day before. And I think I never get a chance to meet Thad and Alice, but I feel like they're always in the room with us. Fast forward, doing some things and waiting tables and really enjoying the Wine Cellar band comes up one day and asks, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do in your life? What's going on the next, 5 years, 10 years, dental school, what's going on? And at that point, I really knew. I said, I want to get in the restaurant industry. I absolutely love it. And she, and her kind of gonna blow your way, gonna blow your mind kind of thing, she said, well, what do you think about running a place like this? And I was 29. Nobody freezes Van Noor, but when she asks you a question like that, that's kind of a big deal. And so frankly, my answer was, can we please just wait, let's get through this first holiday season and see. And it wasn't for the fact that I didn't want it was for the fact that I was like, this lets her change her mind if she wants to, if it came up so casually about that. But sure enough, she called me on New Year's Day. That very day, we're closed, and we had a long conversation, and that's when everything started. And then came Steve. I got to know him, becoming the general manager, and what you see and hear from Steve, you see on TV and you hear from him, he's that plus 10 times more of that kind of person. And his generosity and his leadership and his goals are magnificent. And I had the opportunity to share the sort of war room when things closed down with Steve and Van. And when Steve was chair, it's something that I wouldn't put on anybody, but Steve did it in a way that was second to none. So thanks, Steve. But it's all about a team, and our managers, we have hundreds of years of management experience. And so when Van said it was a daunting task, she said, but we have great managers, and we do. And I've always been able to rely on them. They always had my back. They absolutely groomed me and made me a much better manager and made the restaurant much better. And I feel like their legacy and your legacy resides within them. So thank you so much, guys. You're the best. I really appreciate it. And then, like you were saying before, it takes a village. So my wife being an owner of a restaurant, Pepsi Market, and us having two restaurants in a household, it gets to be a little crazy. So we've been lucky enough to have our family, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, and my mother help out. So we did not have to have, remote child care or anything like that. And it's been so important and so intricate in our lives to be able to raise our child that way. Being in the business, then yes, our daughter has fallen asleep on a bag full of clean linens in front of a refrigerator before in the restaurant. Sure, she has. I think every restaurant kid has. But I just want to, again, thank you all so very much. I feel like there's no other there's no other industry in the world that resembles life more like the people who are in restaurants. You get to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and really huge major events, and there's nothing better. So thank you all so very much. I'm deeply honored.